But you were so close to your father. Did you talk to him about that?
Of course, I talked to him about this, and I knew that he disagreed. In fact, he was the one who stopped the torture in prison when he was transferred to that prison. My father is a very forgiving person, as many Palestinian people, that they are wonderful people. And they are victims of some of the bad ideologies and religion. Now, those people, like my father, they tried to help the situation. Even they never killed a Jew. Maybe they justified killing a Jew somehow because they understand this is how we resist ourselves. But they're not terrorists in the nature. They are not. If you put my father with other Jew in the same room, I am sure that my father is not going to kill that person because he cannot kill a human being. But to him, this is justified when he sees angry young men going and killing Jews, because he would say, okay, this is because of the Israeli aggression. And I say, as a human being, as human beings, we need to get down of this horse of pride and ideologies and politics and think as pure human beings. Because in this case, humans are fuel for this endless cycle of violence.
The Shin Bet helped you to pay for your university studies, and they let you for 4 years to be like a side. You weren't working for them, really, until the second Intifada. The second Intifada is when you started to work as a spy for them. And you say that at the day of decision, there was a day when you decided to really start doing this. What was in your mind in that day?
After I was released from prison, the Shin Bet invited me for a meeting, and I went for the meeting. As I told you, the original plan was to fool them. Now I went to the meeting, and in the meeting they were very friendly, and we discussed what happened in prison, the torture that was going on there, to discover that most my people, Palestinians who were killed or tortured, my friends, they were victims. They didn't have a clue or anything of a relationship with the Shin Bet, the Israeli intelligence. They were innocent people.
They were not collaborators.
They weren't collaborators with Israel. And I started even to question more. I already had a problem with the torture in prison, and now I had a problem to know the truth. If what the Shin Bet was telling me in the first meeting, that all the torture that took place in prison was baseless, and those people were victims, this meant to me a big disaster. Those people I trusted, and those people that we are fighting together, and I'm committing my life to them and to their organization, and I wanted to kill Jews for their glory, and so they take over the Palestinian territories. What if they will become a government one day? Will they also torture everybody the same way they tortured everybody in prison? Now, I'm not saying that this is enough not to trust any Palestinian leadership or Palestinians at all, but I had to judge everything regarding to a pure human morality at that time. And I became very curious. I wanted to learn more. And unfortunately, that I was learning this from my enemies, who I wanted to kill, not from my people. My people weren't honest. Even my father wasn't honest enough. Maybe he was blinded totally to see the truth. And I had to go through this risky journey of hanging out with my enemies that I wanted to kill and have them as friends. And later on, we really became friends because I saw a big amount of honesty and responsibility in their behaviors. And that, I was fascinated about that, and I respected that. So later on, we became friends. Of course, they took care of my study university, but that wasn't the main motive to me as a person.
What was the main motive? When the second Intifada began, you actually began to work as a spy.
It's a mixture. The first motive was taking revenge. That was the original motive. Later on, it was the motive of knowing the truth. What's the reality of this conflict? Why people are killing each other? Why was I tortured? Why was witnessing for all this blood? Who's really responsible for that? it was the journey and the motivation of discovering the truth. And later on, while I was confused, because simply, as I told you, I started to want to take revenge, and later on we became friends. So when I start to look at myself in the mirror, I say, what in the world I am doing? I am hanging out with my enemies as my friends. Should I quit and just quit everything? Quit Hamas, quit the Shin Bet, quit everything and find a different country? Or what? During that time, I met Jesus Christ. I met an evangelist who invited me to a Bible study, and he gave me the Bible. And I was reading the Bible in Matthew, saying, love your enemy. And that shocked me, because during that time, practically, I was in a relationship with my enemies who I wanted to kill, and we became friends. So it made perfect sense to me. Love your enemy, unconditional love. Don't hate anybody. Your problem is not with man. Your problem is with the bad spirits. And I was fascinated about Jesus Christ's teachings. Now when I start to adopt Jesus Christ's standards, not Christianity as a religion, Jesus Christ's message of love, which is equal to God in the Bible, I adopted those standards in my life, and I had a new motivation. Now my motivation wasn't the new motivation in Jesus Christ, in the Christian faith, didn't have political agendas, didn't have agendas to support Israel or even support Palestine. It was the agendas of saving a human life, because I was in a position where I could give information about a suicide bomber who was going ahead to kill and blow himself up in civilians, innocent people, children, women, and old people. And that was my final motivation, to serve the cause of love through my working with the Shin Bet and Hamas at the same time.